can we just use products that are actual skin tones, please, and not what skin tone you aspire to be? Hi everyone, it's Aijing here. Today I really want to talk about my big Asian beauty haul. This is how I achieved the look all Asian beauty products. I am Chinese. I have not explored Asian beauty very much until I went back to China last year. I was blown away by the performance and quality of those products. I did another haul when I went back this year, and I also have some Florasis products to show you as well, which is a C beauty brand. They sent some stuff to me. My video is not sponsored. My views are 100% honest, and that's what I said to Florasis as well when they reached out to me. I can show you what I wrote to them in an email, but they still sent me the product, so that's very nice of them. Without me blabbing on too much, let's just get on with it. So starting off with base product, I got two different primers. This is the Cold Brew primer by Chio True. This is a very lightweight primer and is very liquidy. It was quite nice to use, and I used it on this half of my face, but however, now when I'm looking at my skin, I can see like a couple of bumps here on my cheek, and I'm not sure if it's the primer or the foundation. I have used both foundations before. I didn't see the reaction, and my other half of my face with this Red Earth primer is fine, so I'm not 100% certain that this is a very good product, although it does feel very cooling when I put it on the skin. And this is the Red Earth primer, which is a face-based primer and moisturizer. I have it on this side of my face, and for sure when I put them on my face I could feel the difference with Red Earth. It was a lot more moisturizing. It just had that thicker texture, I mean, which you would expect because it's just is like the product itself is thicker, it's creamier, it's less liquidy, and certainly was more moisturizing than the Chio True Cold Brew moisturizer. I have a feeling that maybe they were trying to emulate the Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched base face with this product, but I've never used a Bobbi Brown, so I can't confirm, but this is kind of like the vibe that I'm getting with this product. I actually really like this. I will continue to try it out. I have to be honest, I've only used this a couple times, so I can't recommend it with all of my heart, but so far so good. Then we've got two foundations. Marie Delgar foundation is a cushion foundation. It comes with a refill like most cushion foundations do. I feel like the netting here, you know, it's not a typical cushion, and when you see the difference between this cushion and a tier cushion, because a tier cushion looks like a more traditional cushion foundation, and I'll just show you the difference between the two textures. Can you see? Right, so this is the tier has all of the holes and everything in, like that sponge, whereas this is like some kind of netting material over the top. I really like this foundation. It goes on really smooth, and the way I apply it is just with the puff that comes with it. I have washed this once already. The sad thing is, because it's Asian beauty, the shade range is terrible, and this is too light for me. I have W01, which I guess is warm 1. There was another shade in store which was even lighter, and I just so badly wish there was a shade that worked for me, because I absolutely love the finish of this foundation. It is so good. It's kind of like medium coverage. It's not a light coverage foundation. Because that foundation doesn't work for me shade wise, I bought the tier foundation. I bought a shade that was a little bit too dark for me, and you can see in the application video, I basically mix up the two foundations together, and the tier foundation, even though it's 24N, N for neutral, I think the color is still a little bit too golden for my more olive undertone, which is a little bit disappointing. However, I do feel like the two foundations mixed together actually worked quite well. It created a pretty decent match actually for me, and I'm quite happy with the result, but it took a long time to apply, trying to mix the two shades together. Tier foundation, I really like the finish as well. It's definitely also medium to full coverage, but I do think if you just applied a little bit less, you know, it's not going to look like a mask. The foundations do make my skin look really good. I really like both foundations, and really it's just a shade issue. Everything else in terms of wear, finish, application, I love. again because of the shade issues. This is a concealer palette by the brand UKiss, and it's got 3 shades of yellow, pink, and a skin tone in it, and a little sponge tip and brush applicator. I mean, this applicator thing is just pointless. I've tried using it. It does not feel good when I use it. And unfortunately, the shades don't work for me either. It's just so light. And you can see in the video that I looked horrendous when I used it as a concealer, and I had to go back in with a Tier foundation to darken everything up again. The concealer is just kind of like okay, it's not bad, it's not amazing either. So this is definitely not something that I would recommend, and I think this is a C Beauty brand. Like, can we just use products that are actual skin tones, please, and not what skin tone you aspire to be? Next, I went in with powder by this brand called Miss Teen. The shop assistant told me this is a Thai brand. Never heard of this brand before. And this is a loose setting powder. Comes with its own puff. Great packaging because you're not getting leakage, powder mess everywhere when you use it. This is so tidy and it's fantastic. And also, product itself, I love this. I feel like I've never used a powder this fine. When I dip the sponge into the powder, it's so fine. There is a little bit of kickback, but then when I look at the sponge, I kind of think, is there even any product on it? Because the particles are so small, and I feel like they're truly embedded in the sponge, so that when you go apply on your face, fantastic. Sets makeup, mattifies, soft focuses the skin, but it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look dry. I love this product so much, and I've used this loads of times as well, and this is definitely something I recommend. I have had a look. I think you can get it on some certain websites, maybe Amazon. I remember looking it up. I will link everything below. So, but this is fantastic. Such a good setting powder. And just to jump around a little bit, I got this very random hair shading powder from Too Cool art class by Rodin. I have their contour powder in my haul from last time. I loved it. So when I saw this on sale, I thought, you know what? I am a little bit insecure about my kind of hairline sometimes, so let's give it a go. You know what? This actually worked really well. Again, it comes with a mirror, which is great, and I used this mirror when I was doing the application. The shade is, I just use a darker shade on my hairline, and I do think it's really just made my hairline look a lot thicker. Yeah, if this is still available, I definitely recommend it. If you have dark brown hair, it's great. I have a shade 01 Dark Ash, so they obviously do have different colors, but you know, this shade works fine. I have very dark brown hair. I don't have black hair, I have very dark brown hair. Such a random product. I don't own anything else like it, and I definitely do not regret buying this. It's Florasis. Okay, so I got sent 3 products by them, and I'm gonna insert some clips of me seeing this for the first time, untouched product, because they are absolutely stunning products, and what I thought first impressions. Honestly, the packaging is so pretty. Even that little button there is just so nice. This plastic cover, and underneath it you have, I think, embroidery, or I'm not sure, something painted on. The packaging has more nuance to it than you think. And this is what the face palette looks like. This is shade number 2. They have a lighter version, which Morgan Turner actually recommended. Really excited to try this. Look how cute that is. This plastic has little purple glitter. Oh, it's a dual chrome glitter. It's purple and blue. We've got peacock feathers as well on the packaging. Just so pretty. I've not had any makeup that is this beautiful. I have used the eyeshadow palette and the face palette multiple times, and I have some very thorough thoughts. So first of all, the face palette. I have seen a lot of YouTubers saying very great things about the face palette. The actual performance, the white powder, which is kind of like supposed to be a setting powder. I don't think this works as a setting powder because it's too pigmented. It's almost like a powder foundation. I mean, my skin is not that pale, and when I do try to use it as a setting powder, because I've seen Morgan Turner talk about it, I think she used a different shade though. The other color in this collection, she says she used this to set the under eyes to brighten, and I did try that. It just made the area look white and pale, which was horrible, and it also made the area look a little bit cakey, and I didn't even use that much. So as a setting powder, definitely not. And I thought, okay, maybe it can be like a little highlighter, right? Just kind of like a matte highlighter over the cheekbone. And I did try that as well, and it was fine. It was definitely better that way. But then, I mean, are you really gonna use it as a highlighter? I mean, most people prefer a glowy highlighter, right? Not this. So unfortunately, this is a dud. Now, the next shade is this one here. This is a beautiful color, okay? I mean, this pink is absolutely stunning. It is a pink with gold shimmers. It's an eyeshadow. It's not a highlighter. And that's what Amanda said as well in her video. And I totally agree. I have used this on my eyes and it is so pretty. Definitely amazing for eyeshadow. Definitely a no-go for the face. The blush and the bronzer. Blusher, I think it's good. It's not amazing. The shade itself, it's nice, but it's not something that stands out. But then the bronzer, I really, really love this bronzer. And you can see how the imprint have already disappeared because I have used this so many times. And I think I probably would prefer this in the lighter shade. And I'll show you a picture of what the other shade looks like, because the bronzer is just a touch lighter and I don't have to be as careful with it because I have to make sure that I don't use too much of this, otherwise I will look a little bit crazy. Wearing this today, and I think it gives such a beautiful seamless finish to the cheeks. It's very easy to blend, and you just use a big fluffy brush. With face palettes, the size of the palettes are smaller, so it's a little bit more difficult when you use a big fluffy brush, but it's certainly manageable. And unlike the Hourglass, because this is a really good product, I am willing to spend a little bit more time to coat my brush evenly. The weird thing about these powders is they are really, really creamy. They're not just a straight up powder. And especially when I feel the bronzer, you know, there's something about it that feels creamy, but it's not a cream. It's just when you put your finger in there, it feels so soft. And just these, you know, 2 swipes on my back of my hand, can you see how that just looks super blurring as well? And it's not completely matte, it's a satin finish, which I think is also another reason why it's so flattering on the skin. The blush is a touch more matte, whereas the bronzer, I really feel like there is that satin finish. There is something magical about this bronzer. This is definitely, like, the bronzer is an absolutely standout in this face palette, without a doubt. And if they came out with a bronzer just by itself, I would buy this bronzer 100 times. For sure. There's no scent or anything to this, which is great. It's a pleasure to use every single time. Obviously, like I said, it's, you know, a dud in there, but the bronzer, fantastic. Fantastic. The eyeshadow palettes from Florasis. So they sent me 2. One is just a lovely bronzy shade, very, very neutral palette. And then the other one has some pinks in it, which is also a very nice palette, I think. So on first instance, I kind of thought I prefer the brown, just because I don't like wearing pink that much, even though I did actually use the pink palette today. But the brown palette is just a little bit too samey in terms of color story, because I do feel like some of these shades just look a little bit too similar. They all kind of look different, but the same. You know, however, the formula is absolutely stunning. Again, same with the face powders. There is something really creamy with these eyeshadows, and they are so easy to pick up with a brush. You know, I've reviewed loads of Lisa Eldridge products, including her eyeshadows, and the trouble I have with her eyeshadows is I just can't seem to pick it up with a brush. and I have to go in so many times to get color. This is the complete opposite with Florasis, and you get a similar blurred finish on your eyes. These matte eyeshadows are absolutely stunning, very easy to apply, very easy to blend. You would think maybe a creamier eyeshadow would require a little bit more effort to blend, but no, these just blend out with a few swipes. Absolutely perfect. They just feel so creamy. They just feel so creamy. Like I mean, look at that payoff. It was such a light dip. I hardly pressed my finger into the pan, and this is the payoff you get, which is just great. Also, in this palette, the two shimmery shades, which is this one here and this one here, they are so pretty. This color, oh my god. It's basically Moondust Space Cowboy from Urban Decay, but a little bit better. I feel like it's even more diamondy. It's even sparklier. Also, there isn't very much base, because if you know Space Cowboy, if you have Space Cowboy, you know there is like a taupey light beige base and then the sparkles on top. I feel like this shadow has higher density of the sparkles. I really don't think I can show you how pretty it is with my lighting setup. Same thing with this shade, but it's a little bit less sparkly, a little bit more metallic, and a little bit of a darker gold, but nonetheless also absolutely stunning, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm so glad that they sent to me. Thank you so much, Florasis, because honestly I feel like this palette is worth having just by this shade alone. And also I absolutely love this dark neutral matte brown, because these colors, they're not warm, they're not cool, they are truly neutral browns, which is great. The other palette is a similar story. Matte, absolutely amazing. I do think the color story is a little bit better in this palette because there's more diversity in the shades, not just color but also in tone. Like, this is such a nice white bone shade. If you have paler skin, this will be a really nice base color. For me, this is kind of like just a great base color to start off with. We also have another sparkly eyeshadow in this palette, but it takes up smaller real estate in this palette. The other metallic, pink metallic, is also very pretty. It's not quite as sparkly, but again, a very pretty metallic color. And this light pink is also beautiful, and I do think you can just get a neutral everyday look if you just use these three shades and forget about the pinks. But then if you want it to be a little bit adventurous, you know, you can use the pinks. I think you can't really go wrong. And again, right, they are beautiful. The packaging is stunning. I didn't think that I would love these products, but I do. They are amazing. Thank you, Florasis, and I really recommend the products that I have tried. A little random one, I didn't actually use this, but I want to show you guys. This is a big powder puff that I got, and just look at the size of this, right? This is, I feel like this would be amazing applying foundation. I have not tried this yet, but I just wanted to show you guys. Another big powder puff, and oh my gosh, amazing. Tools as well, like powder puffs in particular, Asia wins. Okay, let's talk about blushes. So I'm wearing two blushes on my face. I started off with the Red Earth Temperature Matte Mono Blush in the shade 05 Apricot. And I used a brush with it first because I forgot it came with a little puff. You can't get very much pigment with a brush. You definitely should be using the puff. And I had a much better result using the puff the second time. It's got this putty texture. I think, again, it's kind of like a dupe of the MAC Play Glow Play blushes. This is a very pretty apricot color. Went on beautifully with the puff the second time that I used it, and yeah, I can't complain, and I really like this shade. Girl Cult blush. I have the shade, I don't know what shade I have, but I have a Girl Cult blush. I got this before I knew this was a hype. I just went into the store, saw that the packaging was really cool. The sun here, 3D printed, and even the side here is like plastic ridges. So I thought, let's give this a go. And the blush itself, Really, really pretty blush. Went on beautifully with my Kiko blush brush, which is my favorite blush brush because this lets you apply blush without over applying it. Yeah, can't complain about this product. But these are the two blushes. See, the apricot shade is such a pretty corally shade as well. Gorgeous. Would recommend both of these products. Now, some more eyes and brows. So I only got one brow pen. I feel like, why did I not get more brow pens from China? Because they know what they're doing. This is from the brand Mari Dalgar again, and this is a very thin eyebrow pencil in the shade ash gray. Well, I'm translating it, but the Chinese is 青烟灰 02. It's a very fine pencil. Draws incredibly fine lines with light pressure. It's just like this ashy grey tone. If you apply more pressure, it looks a little bit more black and the brows can look a little bit more bold. This is so easy to use. It's not very creamy, okay? It's more waxy, that's for sure, but I do feel like it lasts better because it's more like a wax than a cream. So because it's a little bit stiff, right, I think you can feel like it's a little bit scratchy, but honestly I don't mind that just because the formula gives me so much control with pressure, with the payoff, and the shade is absolutely perfect. There are so many eyebrow products out there that are just too warm, but this is perfect. Honestly, fantastic. And it comes with a spoolie on the other side. If I can find a link for it, I will link it. I also bought a bunch of eyeliners because Asian Beauty eyeliners is where it's at. And it's a discovery I made after my first haul. So I went back, got some more, got a liquid one from Miss Teen in brown. And again, super fine lines, very light pressure, fantastic dispense of the pigment, super fine lines. If you watched my last video, the eyeliners from China, they are so thin. They are so thin. It's fantastic. You can use it to just do whatever you want with your eyeliner because you have so much control. You're never gonna end up with Amy Winehouse looking eyeliner. Unless that's what you want, then, you know, go ahead and do that. But that's not what I want. The other one is from Judy Doll in the shade black. Can you see how thin this is? It's just fantastic. Just like the lightest pressure. And it dispenses pigment. There's no, you know, dragging, because you would think if you just apply a little bit of pressure, none of the pigment is going to come out. But that's not the case with these magical Asian Beauty eyeliners. Judy Doll's a C beauty brand. You know, lots of people recommend them, and I am joining that crowd. This is a fantastic eyeliner. Two other eyeliners are gel eyeliners that I bought. They are both brown, but different shades of brown, and I used them on my eyes today. If there is footage, I will roll the footage. They do not budge. They're not going to smudge. So for us monolid girls, hooded eye girls, or boys, this is a perfect product. And I know I've used the word perfect so many times, but it's just, I can't get over how good Asian Beauty is. This one is from the brand Owl, I have no idea, versus the Color Key. So the Color Key brown is a little bit more neutral, a little bit more cool leaning, this color here, and the Owl is just a tiny bit warmer, a little bit more red in there. But both of them super easy to work with. You don't need to drag on your eyelid. Pigment deposits super easily. The tip is so fine that, you know, you just can't go wrong. I love these so much. Okay, a product that I'm not sure if I love, and actually it's a Judy Doll product. I saw this going viral and I bought it. Is the curling iron mascara. I have the mine in black. I think it's okay. I think it could be a lot worse considering this is what the brush looks like, but I do think it's a little bit clumpy. I do have to use my lash comb when I use this because I feel like my lashes are just going together like that. But otherwise, you know, it doesn't smudge, which is like a big thing for me with mascara. Does it curl? Yeah. Does it lengthen? Does it volumize? But it's a smudge proof mascara. Yeah, so I feel like I wouldn't recommend this. And you know, my eyelashes, they're your typical Asian eyelashes. I do DIY lash lift at home, which gives them a nice curl. And I also use a lash serum, which makes them grow longer and thicker. But I imagine if it was like my old eyelashes, I just think this would do absolutely nothing. Another eye product is from this brand called Yoonars. It's a Korean brand, the liquid glitter eyeshadow, and they had quite a few shades of these. This was one of the few that was in stock. I wanted some different colors, but they were all sold out. Is L06 that I have, which is just your typical gold champagne. It comes with this applicator that is a silicone tipped applicator. So this is not a brush. It's not a very flexible wand. So I guess it's good in a way that loads of glitter is there, and when you deposit it, it gets deposited because it's a silicone tip. Whereas with the brush, I feel like you go in, right, you swipe, and then basically what happens is the bit that the brush is touched, no product, but the bit above and below the brush tip gets loads of product. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't happen with this tip. However, it's a little bit sharper because, you know, it's a bit of plastic, so it's gonna feel less comfortable on the eyes. But then at the same time, because it's sharper, it's got a point, so you can be more precise. Advantages, disadvantages. In terms of the glitter itself, very pretty, can't complain. I have the glitter as a kind of like a glitter line sort of situation going on here, but I didn't do it very well, so it's a little bit smudged. Same here on the other eye, and I do have it in my inner corners as well. I think I don't know, I've put a mark on my nose at some point. Right, we'll just pretend that hasn't been there the entire time, okay? But yes, I have it in my inner corners here as well. I do have to say, when I applied it to my inner corners, my eyes got a little bit sensitive. I didn't tear up, but it felt like my eyes were tearing up, which kind of happens sometimes with these liquid glitter products. But when I applied it on my eyelid up here, it was absolutely fine. So, you know, this is a sensitive area. So if you have sensitive eyes, maybe watch out. But otherwise, excellent, pretty, yeah. And all of these products are so affordable, amazing. A couple more cheek products, slash eye product. This is by the brand the Hey Lulu shade D05, and it's a glittery eyeshadow, kind of funky, fun packaging with this snowflake type of situation, lid going on, no mirror. It's fallen out already. I don't know what's happened, but I mean, the shadow itself hasn't cracked or anything, but it's certainly not staying in its packaging anymore. And this is a multi-dimensional glitter. It's a little bit more gritty. I don't remember it feeling so gritty when I was testing it in the store, but it's got like bits of purple, blue, gold glitter in there. And I just feel like, again, for the price, and it's a color that's a little bit more unique, you know, not just your straight up gold or champagne. I think this is perhaps one of the ones that's not as good because it does feel a little bit gritty when I structure it on my fingertips, so the glitter particles are not as fine. So I probably wouldn't recommend this, but you know, it's a little bit of fun. I bought it, it's all right, it's all right. I don't regret it because they're so affordable. It's not like I spent £39 on an eyeshadow, like from Charlotte Tilbury or something like that, and then turns out to be a complete lackluster. And then yes, then I regret spending my money. The next one is by RMT. Is the Ventian Chameleon High Gloss is the name of the product, but essentially it is a highlighter. It's a duochrome highlighter. I have it on my face. It's kind of pink purple highlighter. When I'm looking straight ahead, you can see a little pink glow here. When I turn, you can see the violet glow on my cheek. I mean, I feel like multi-chrome highlighters can just be a little bit of fun. It's certainly not for every day. RMT, I bought some of their other products last time, so when I saw this, I thought, oh yeah, okay, all right, let's give that one a go as well. So that's why I bought it. I think this will be very, very pretty as an eyeshadow, and to be honest, that's why I got it. I didn't buy it as a face highlighter, but because we have so much going on in the eyes today, I didn't use it as an eyeshadow. But you can see, yeah, pretty, it's glowy, much cheaper than a Denizer Myricks Duochrome eyeshadow. It's the highlighter, very pretty. Lip products, let me show you. Yes, so I bought quite a few. 4 of them are from the same brand and 2 of them are from the same brand as well. They are from, so these 4 are from the brand called Into You. These 2 are matte lipsticks and they are very, very pretty, very blurring. This is a shade ML06. This shade is ML12. You know, they're quite similar shades. I basically wanted something nice and peachy. If you've ever tried the Violette blurring lip balms, they're like that, but more pigment, more matte, more blurring. So it's that product, but kicked up a notch. I think these are better, to be honest. But if you prefer an everyday look, then go for the Violette ones. But yeah, these are fantastic. Even though they're matte, they are absolutely comfortable to wear. They're non-drying. They blur your lips like crazy. I don't know how. I don't understand the magic, but it is so stunning, right? Like, see that blur? It's stunning. It's, oh my God, it's just so good. And then the other 2, again from the same brand, and they are liquid versions of kind of the same thing. So very similar finish, and you can see it's that souffle matte. You can see that texture and you think, oh, that looks horrible because it kind of looks a little bit bitty, a little bit grainy, right? But actually when you apply it onto your lips and blend it out, it's not an issue. Same thing with this one. So it's a slightly different shade. But yeah, these 2, absolutely same finish with matte blurring effects. And they're not transfer proof by any means, but they're much longer wearing than just, you know, like a lip balm or a lip gloss, you know? Yeah, I love them so much. You can see, blended out, that blur. So pretty, so pretty. And what I'm wearing on my lips now, this is my favorite lip product of the year, dare I say, because this is, oh my God, this is phenomenal. So this is a glossy lip product and I have it on my lips right now, and it just gives your lips the most unreal shine, as if you were wearing a gloss, but without the stickiness, without any of that like horrible gloopy feeling. It's just so shiny, so beautiful. And I'll apply a little bit more. So I haven't even told you what it is. It's by the brand UHUE, and one of you actually asked me what I was wearing in one of my Instagram stories because I was wearing this, and at the time I was just sort of testing it out. I didn't really take notice of it, but oh my God, this is so good. And the more I wear it, the more I love it. I have the shade G104. This is on Yes Style. I will link it. It is a fantastic lip product. It's just so pretty. Can you see that shine? Right, I think it's called like Mirror Shine lipstick or something, and it's such a good description for it. So pretty. Next time I'm in China, if I see this again, I'm gonna buy more because I think it's cheaper in China. Like on Yes Style it's like £12. I'm pretty sure it was not over 100 yuan in China. Maybe I'll just ask my cousins to buy it for me. This is too good. This is too good to skip, okay? If you only buy one product from this video, make it this one. But obviously, you know, don't buy makeup if you don't need makeup. But if you're looking for something new to try and you're looking to buy something, this is the one. The other product I have from UHUE, I'm really sorry, I don't know any of these names, is a lip gloss. And I thought this was a bit of fun because it's like a bluey, purpley duochrome lip gloss. Can you see that? So I did put this on the center of my lips earlier, and I'll just do the same thing again. So putting the gloss on the back of my hand and then just going in with my finger onto the center of my lips, like so. And it just gives it a little bit of an interesting point to look at in the middle of your lips. See? So that added even more shine. This gloss has a slight scent to it, kind of like vanilla, sweet, perfume, fruity sort of scent. Really, really pretty color. Doesn't feel too gloopy, but I definitely prefer the feeling of the lipstick rather than the lip gloss. The lip gloss is also very pretty. What did you think? Did any other products jump out to you? Are you thinking of buying anything? Let me know. Are there any K-beauty, C-beauty, J-beauty brands that you think I should try? Let me know, because I am on the Asian beauty train. I'm not interested in buying any more Chanel, Lancome, Dior, okay? I want to buy Asian beauty products, right? So if you have recommendations, please drop them down below and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.